Hello. We will be discussing a little bit of what I've learned so far in interpersonal communication. Please continue with me on my journey of self-disclosure. I've learned that nonverbal communication is something you really need to watch out for. I've learned that when dealing with a difficult person, you don't want to have your arms crossed, and you don't want to be leaning on your back foot trying to get away from them, because they'll perceive that as you not listening to them and not paying attention to what they're saying, and they'll become even more hostile towards you. Your emotional intelligence is how you read people when they're put into emotional situations, and how they throw emotion into conversations. Like when they are talking about something they are very sad with, they'll start crying. My emotional intelligence level is very low. I don't like when people start crying in the middle of a conversation. I don't know how to react to them, whether to comfort them or just leave them alone. Along with the crying, you need to be empathetic with the people that you're dealing with. That means putting yourself in their shoes and learning what they need to be able to better assist them with the difficult time that they're going through. You also need to have a supportive group. What that means is you need somebody who's able to support you and guide you in your difficult situations. Whether that means that you are somebody's support, your best friend, your family, your children, or whether your husband or your children or your family is also your support group. If you have any problems, they are the people that you go to when you have issues or need advice. You want to watch out for stereotypes. Like in the picture, it states that women stereotypically talk about shopping and ice cream and, vacations and their children. And it says that men talk about their pets and video games and fishing. However, stereotypes are not always what they are proposed to be. Women like fishing and video games, and men like ice cream and their family. So at this point, stereotypes no longer exist, except when people try and put them in place. I'm a very big gossip, and it's not one of my best features. Gossiping is when you tell person 3 what person 2 told you without person 2's acknowledgement or prior approval. Basically, that can get you discredited a lot, and people will then be reluctant to tell you items. You want to have a competence face, and that is when you need people to believe that you are intelligent and in control. For example, on the four-wheeler, it's not my first time riding it. I know how to control it, so I'm very competent on the four-wheeler. You need to have high self-esteem, and that is when you believe in yourself without anybody else telling you what to believe about yourself. So when you look in the mirror and you smile, or when you look in your mirror and say, "I'm feeling really pretty today," that boosts your self-esteem. Self-disclosure. It's when you talk about yourself with other people, letting them in. So for example, with the best friends, they're the ones that are most knowledgeable about who I am as a person. Skepticism. If somebody is telling you gossip, for example, or a lie, you can be very skeptic about what they're telling you, especially if you know that they are a known liar. It just means that you do not believe them, and you need to get further data before you trust what they're saying. Criticism. Constructive criticism helps. It's when people give you pointers on what you can do better. And then passive-aggressive behavior is something you definitely need to leave. It's one of the hardest things to avoid. It's when people are nice to your face, but they say awful things behind your back. I'm not passive-aggressive, however, I work with people who are passive-aggressive, and it is a very difficult situation to keep in.